we are very excited, extremely excited to have you join us for the Chicago West Side Music Festival.
Yes.
And we are really excited. I know the first time that I saw you was at the Black Women's Expo when you came. And it was one of those days.
With Anthony David.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was one of those days that I didn't want to come. I had tickets, and I was so down. And you sang I've Got Sunshine. And I immediately felt better.
Are you kidding me?
And that's when I became a huge fan. I mean, the spirit, the inspiration just was uplifting. And that's kind of where I want to go with the interview and tap into that source.
Well, thank you so much. It means so much to me. It's so funny that you say that because sometimes I do that song and I'm like, people don't want to hear this song. They don't feel like hearing it. I need to do something else. And it's just so interesting and you didn't ask me all this, but it's interesting when you're doing when you're doing what God wants you to do, and sometimes it doesn't make sense and you don't get it, and I don't really like that, and you never know what that thing is that you're doing, how it's going to affect everybody else, how much it might not even be about you, and how much it's for everybody else. And I'm blessed every time somebody says to me, that song made me feel better. And, and I'm thinking, God, that's not my favorite song on the album, whatever, it's cool. But when I tell you, you cannot imagine the number of people that say, I needed that today, or it made me, and I'm just reminded about how great God is and about how, about God not making any mistakes. And I'm grateful that God would choose me, to deliver that message. So thank you for sharing that with me, because that means a lot to me. It really does.
Yes, definitely. There's 3 songs that I turn on when I'm down. Is your song. The other one is McFadden and Whitehead. There's no stopping us. Ain't no stopping us now. And the third one,
I know you're right.
It Sounds of Blackness. Hold on. Those are my I got to get through this moment songs. So those are my 3 songs.
And how ironic is that? The musicians from Sounds of Black is one of the musicians. His name is Big Jim Wright. One of me and Dana's my writing partner. One of our good friends, Big Jim Wright, is in the hospital right now. He played on Hold On.
Really?
He's in the hospital right now in ICU, in intensive care, so keep him lifted up.
Yes.
Please do that. It's just interesting that you would mention that song. Yeah.
Wow. And that's kind of where it goes. And even for what I do when I call it Life by Design Media, I want to talk to people, but it's about empowerment and uplifting people. And even in Chicago, I love the fact that we have so many free concert series. And for the Chicago West Side Music Festival, it's in a low-income area on the West Side. Wow. And there's people that's going to be at that concert that could never afford to buy a ticket to see you.
Wow.
And my question for you, or I just want your feedback, how does that impact you? How does that feel? What is that responsibility like? Is it a weight, when you have people that just want to see you and hear your music?
Yes, absolutely. It's a weight. And I think about, I want everybody to be exposed to my music. And I am one of those people who, it's so interesting that you say that. There are shows that I wanted to go to that I couldn't afford to go to. I get that. And I'm grateful for an opportunity to be able to give my gift. And people not say, well, I can't go see her, and I'm not going to name any names, because there's some people who, I get it, you've been in the business for a long time, you can charge $400 or $500 for a ticket. But for the people who want to see you, who can't, where are those opportunities? And I'm grateful to have this opportunity to do that. And again, because I relate. There's some shows I can't afford to go to right now. I relate to that, and that's why it means so much to me. I get it. I get that.
That is so good. Now, you say that, I was watching your video, and you say that you don't like to refer to your fans as fans. You call them your team, and that kind of flips the other way as well. I don't like the word entertainer. Yeah. You're not an entertainment. Your music is not entertainment to me. It uplifts. it motivates, it inspires. Can you speak a little bit to how your music can transcend the entertainment level and move to that inspirational level?
Well, I've got to. I can't answer this question without touching on something that my mother said that my aunt used to call me. She said she would call me preacher girl, and that's something that I never wanted to accept. Well, I ain't no preacher. I ain't gonna be in no pulpit preaching, And it didn't dawn on me until we finished this record, and I think one of the first shows that we'd ever done, and people talked about the experience. And not that it was entertaining, but they talked about it being a different kind of experience. And I felt some kind of way. I was like, oh, God, I'm not trying to church people out because I love everybody. I don't care what you believe, whatever it is. I don't want you to just feel like if you don't love Jesus, that you get, no, I don't want to feel like that. But so I was nervous about that. And then my partner, Dana, he always is like, why? If God has given you a platform to transcend entertainment, so to speak, just to use your words, why not accept that? Why not live in that space? And I'm like, well, I don't want to confuse people. He was like, but you're not confused. There are a group of people who don't just want to be entertained. They want something else. He said, don't you want something else? I was like, yeah. He said, well, why? What's the problem? And I guess I was always running from, I don't want to exclude people by trying to make it a church event or a church experience. And so I'm always real nervous about it. But now, you know what? I can't worry about it anymore. If God has called me for my shows to be more than an entertainment experience and it's more of a healing experience, that's just what it is. And it's ministry. I accept that. Do you hear me? My hands are lifted. I surrender, God, if that's what you want me to do. I had a lady send me an email from Germany, and she says, your music makes me want to be a better person.
Right.
And I said, God, I don't know I think I was asking for that when I asked God to bless this music. God, give Dana and I music that people not just want to hear, but that they need to hear.
Right.
I didn't realize what I was really, really, really asking for. So that preacher girl thing, I guess it's true to an extent. It is a sort of preaching, but not about you need to be a Christian or you need to be this, but kind of preaching about this is what my experience is. And I've been through all of that. I've been through divorce. I've been through foreclosure. I'm almost 40 and just working on my second record. I'm a single mommy. My parents live with me. I'm dealing with it, but I'm still all right. I'm happy and I'm blessed. And I'm not afraid to tell you about it. I'm not afraid to tell you about just like I'll tell you about my successes, I'll tell you about my failures so that you know that I'm just like you. And if that is ministry, then that's what I do. And I'm not running from it. You know what I mean?
I like to say it's amen.
Hey, if that's what it is, I'm not fighting it. I used to feel weird about, people would hear my music and they say, listen, we want you to come to the church and do it. And I say, Dana, I can't go to the church and sing my songs. He was like, listen, these folk know what you do. They want you to come and do what you do. Mm-hmm. Stop tripping. You talk about the church needing to change and accept everybody and meet people where they are. This is your opportunity to spearhead that. Do it. And I'm going to do it. And so if I'm in the club, I'm going to talk about the Lord. If I'm at the church and they ask me to come, I'm going to talk about God and I'm going to talk about my baby daddy. That's what I do.
That's right.
That's what I do. That's what's real. That's what's real. And I feel like that's what's wrong with so many of us, and me too. We want to separate. Okay, when we're in church, we behave this way. When we're in a club, we behave this way. Why not just be the same all the time?
Yes, you are so.
Be the same all the time. If you got a drink in your hand, it's all right to say, oh, I love you, God. we're so afraid of that. It's like, why? You're going to leave and do it anyway?
And God is the same. He doesn't change. So why are we changing?
Now you're preaching. God is the same. Didn't they used to say it? Yesterday, today, forevermore, right?
Forevermore, that's right.
So why are we switching up? And then we end up with all these people, everybody's so confused, and you can't be who you are, so you're a closet this or a closet that because you can't let people see what you really do. And I've got to separate that, so you end up doing stuff. Girl, if I broke down to you, the things that I've seen or experienced in my family because people are afraid. I am so, for me, the stuff that I did because I was afraid, or I kept in the closet because I was afraid. People would judge me, or ain't nobody got time for that.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Life by Design Media on WBDN TV. And you are welcome to join us here at WBDN TV. Internet television is increasing in overwhelming numbers. More people are spending more time watching TV online or via a mobile device than on a traditional television than ever before. This is your opportunity to broadcast with us. If you're an entertainer, you can have your own show. If you have a ministry, you can broadcast that. You can even advertise with us. We have a wonderful reach. We launched at 10,000 viewers, but more importantly than that, our following is organic. These are people that we actually have influence with. When you advertise with WBDN TV, you are practically guaranteed results. People who advertise with us, they see business sales go up. They make connections because we are truly a network. The By Design Network is an organic network that works. It is built on years of relationships, and our name is trusted. And when we recommend you to people, they'll accept our recommendations. That's what you want in advertisement. Get ahead of the curve of internet television and join us here on WBDN TV.
Listen, I'm divorced. Yes. I had a baby. Listen, I married because I didn't want to have a baby out of wedlock. That wasn't the right reason to get married. That was not the. You're talking about that stuff. No, nobody want to say that. Girl, I had so many people telling me, if you get divorced, God does not like divorce. I said, but you mean to tell me He likes for people who are unequally yoked to be together? He likes that? Stop telling me what God wants for me.
That's right.
How about that?
That's right.
Let me do that. But I'm sorry, I got on my soapbox.
That's okay. You're blessing me, seriously. And I like that. That's the whole point of what I do, because you hear so many negative things about celebrities. And the more that I interview people, the more you touch that realness, and the more you're inspired, and it seems attainable. Not necessarily looking for celebrity status, but to make an impact and to touch the masses and to meet the need. You touched on something about being genuine. We live in a fake world. Everything is an illusion, and people are trying to attain. You can't attain it because it's not real.
Oh, preach.
So you need somebody who will say, okay, this is real. This is what happened, and to just let the gifts that God gave them manifest and touch people. And that's what you do, and that's why I'm glad. I'm really, really glad that when I saw that they were bringing you to the Westside Music Festival, that particular park, that particular area needs your, and I'm just going to call it a ministry, needs that. Because that's where I work, that's where I volunteer, that's where I mentor, that's where I tutor. And I see it daily, and we need someone to come in and bring sunshine, literally to bring the sunshine. And speaking of sunshine, your smile.
You're so sweet to me.
It's contagious.
You think, is it?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna stay at the dentist. Do you hear me? Girl, I'm going to keep myself at the dentist. Ain't nobody got time for that. Shoot.
How do you keep that smile? Outside of the dentist, where does the smile, it glows. Where does that joy in your smile come from?
I'm telling you, it comes from, I feel like it's another one of those things that you I feel like I learned that from my parents and my children. They keep me like that. Even though they worry me, they get on my last nerve.
I know, right?
But I feel like I have to, when I look at them, not only, do they get on my nerves, but I look at them and I look at the people who don't have the benefit of having maybe their children and their parents that live with them, or who are able to have children at all, or who still have their parents. Both my parents still alive. My mother takes care of the house and takes care of the kids so I can travel. Now she's taking care of my dad, who's fallen a little ill. The truth is, having conversations like this with you, this is the stuff that does make me smile. This is the stuff that I draw on when stuff is dark. And please believe, I cry too. God knows I'm the biggest crybaby in the world.
Me too.
But I believe I'm so grateful for my parents who, they're very real people. Now, the pendulum swings both ways. In being real and being honest, yes, there's a lot of great stuff that comes out of that. Some off stuff, too, because they're going to tell you what's on their mind. Denise, you look beautiful today. That's my real name. Then they might say, Denise, that pimple on your nose is real big. So, like I said, the pendulum goes both ways. They're going to say whatever. The essence of of all of that is that they're honest. And I feel like I can work with that. Even if I don't want to hear what you have to say, if you're honest with me, I can deal with that. I can, and I'm just grateful to have parents like that. There's a song on the next record that's called "See You When I Get There," and it came from my, a lot of the songs that Dana and I write. We write about love and all that stuff. But I wanted something to address my oldest brother, who was actually my cousin, but he was my brother. He told me when I was 16. He was like, listen, we were talking about college and all. He went to Morehouse College. I want you to go to Spelman. I want you to check out the school and so forth and so on. And this is him talking to me. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and and they were talking weird to me. I don't know if it was because they found out I was gay or blah 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 blah. And I was like, huh? You're gay? He was like, yeah, I'm gay. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He said, so what do you want for dinner? And I think that approach to that, and of course we had conversations after that, but I knew him first as my brother, and him being gay was just a part of who he was. It didn't make him any different to me, and I say all that to say our differences make us so beautiful, and I grew up in a family we didn't judge him. My parents didn't judge me when I said, listen, I want to go to school, I want to study piano. Nobody said, what you need to do. I wouldn't do that. I would go be a teacher. That way you have a job. Nobody ever said that to me. They let me be real as I wanted to be. And so I say all that to say, we wrote a song called I See You When I Get There. You go your way, I'll go mine. And I promise you we'll see each other on the other side, and everything will be all right. And it celebrates our differences and our truths, and again, that's the place where we can be the happiest. When I am living the life I want to live, I'm dating the man I want to date. I've got the job I want to have, not because somebody else said this. Because I tried that. I got married right out of college and I married a Morehouse man. Oh God, you're supposed to do that. The only thing I didn't do was pledge. But you're supposed to pledge, and you're supposed to get a house. Well, we lost that. I got divorced. Now what? What? None of that stuff made me happy. And I'm just talking you to death. I'm really, really, I'm in a place where I want to encourage everybody to be honest. And I guarantee you, honesty, it might sting a little bit, but it does not hurt like a lie does. It does not tear down like a lie can. It does not destroy like lies can. I was, talking to one of my close friends the other day, and I said, you won't believe how not just your honesty will help you, but your honesty frees other people.
Right.
Your honesty can free me. And we're just, we have to be courageous enough to do that. And I'm still working on it. Every day I'm working on it. Somebody walk up to me and say, listen, I want to be a singer. And they sing for me. And what you think? I'm working on being honest. Baby, I don't think that's it. However, But
I know, right? My daughter wants to sing. She's like, Mom, I'm going to be a singer. I'm like, no. You pretty, but
well, we gotta be honest. I don't want to hurt my baby's feelings. But that's how stuff gets started. Ain't nobody tell nobody from the truth from the beginning.
Right.
But at any rate.
That is so great. No, you're not just going on and on. You would be surprised. We have so many similarities, and I needed this conversation. Honestly, I did. Because it's encouraging to hear what you're saying. And to that point, you say that your music is how you communicate.
Yeah.
You've pretty much covered it, but what is your message? What are you trying to say? What do you want everybody to know through your music?
I want everybody to know that I believe that true happiness comes out of being authentic and honest. And you're not really shining until you're being truthful. You're being honest. You can't really shine. You can't. The truth is the foundation, and out of that truth, everything else grows. And I want to encourage everybody to do that by telling my story. And also know that I'm a work in progress. I'm like Steve Harvey. What do you say? God ain't through with me yet, But I do. I want people to know. I want people to be encouraged to be truthful. I know it's so simple and so like that's it. But I just believe the moment that I released, what people thought, what people would think about my music and this, that, and the other, and I just wrote what I wanted to write and put out the songs I wanted to put out. Dana and I just, that's where I found peace.
And the funny thing about it, which is what I've learned, is when you're trying to please others and you're not really being truly honest, they ignore you. They don't give you the attention. They don't respond to you because it's not genuine. Even though you're doing exactly what they want you to do,
absolutely,
the respect, the appreciation is not there. When you're authentic and you're genuine and what you're doing is coming from your soul, that's when you make a genuine connection.
Yes.
And then you start to soar. And like you said, you're just doing your thing, doing you, saying what you want to say, doing what you want to do. And people hear it, and they're blessed. They're blessed by the genuineness that comes out. And, again, like I just named those 3 songs, I feel the energy in those songs. And I need that energy in times when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling discouraged, when I want to quit. The music literally, even in the Bible, when David played his harp for Saul.
Oh, God, preach. Come on now.
It just calms that beast inside, that inner beast that wants to destroy all of us.
Absolutely.
So, that's something that I really appreciate, like you hit it on the head, that being genuine. And I am really looking forward to hearing you again in the park in a couple of weeks. And you coming back to Chicago. We're always glad to have you here.
I'm so glad, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for giving me a platform to speak. And it means so much because you don't have to. You could say, let me go get Fantasia. People know her. Let me do. You could, and I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. I really don't, and I absolutely appreciate that. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and you've inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing. And I must say this, excuse me. I started working on the second record, and there were so many people. I just have to speak to this point because it's so interesting. I had so many people after they heard the first record say, "Oh God, that's good." Now the kind of songs you really should do. Now none of these people were in the mix when we were working on the first record, but they come now. They said, "See, this is what your music should sound like," and I almost took the red pill. I almost took the red pill, and really it actually stopped. Dana and I, we stopped work on the record because I was so conflicted. I was like, okay, now they're telling me this is the kind of music I need now that I've got some attention. I need to make songs that sound like this. And so I say that to you to say this: when you start moving in that direction, there are going to be stuff that comes at you to try to get you off course. And I'm back, and I'm doing exactly what I feel like God has given me to do, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be aware of those things that are coming to try to get me off course. Because the truth of the matter is, if I'm doing what somebody else wants me to do, I'm not doing what God has called me to do.
Right.
That's it. So talking to you, it reminds me even more, stay on task. Do the songs that God has given you. And don't try to make songs that you think people want to hear. Make the songs that God has given you for the people to hear. So thank you. This has been a great conversation for me. As I go into the studio today to finish this darn album that we've been working on.
Well, I can't wait because I know it's going to be wonderful. And thank you for your music. Thank you for your time. And thank you for giving back to the community by coming out to sing at the West Side, at the Chicago West Side Music Festival. And, again, I'm looking forward to it very much. Thank you so much.
Me too. Thank you so much. And I will see you on the 24th.